There comes a point in your life when you must decide what deserves your attention and what doesn't. Because everything that calls your name isn't meant to get your answer. Some things are just noise, designed to pull your focus, steal your peace, and drain your strength. But I came to tell you today, you've got too much purpose to get caught up in drama. You weren't created to fight every rumor. You weren't called to respond to every critic. You weren't designed to waste your time proving your worth to people who never intended to understand you. When God placed purpose in your spirit, He gave you something bigger than opinions. You've got destiny in your DNA, and destiny doesn't debate with drama. Drama is loud, purpose is quiet, drama needs attention, purpose needs discipline, and every time you choose peace over chaos, you're proving that you're growing. Maturity isn't about how many battles you can win. It's about how many you can walk away from. Sometimes strength is not in your shout, it's in your silence. Sometimes victory is not in your response, it's in your restraint. You've got to learn to guard your focus, because where your focus goes, your future follows. The enemy doesn't need to destroy you. He just needs to distract you. He doesn't have to take your faith. He just has to fill your day with foolishness. And if you're not careful, you'll start giving your attention to things that don't build you, people that don't bless you, and battles that don't belong to you. When you understand your purpose, you stop entertaining things that don't align with it. You stop chasing validation from people who can't comprehend your vision. You stop letting small-minded people pull you into small conversations. Because purpose changes your posture, it teaches you to keep your head high when others are trying to pull you low. Do you know why eagles don't fight with crows? Because crows can't breathe at the altitude eagles soar in. When an eagle rises higher, the crow falls away. That's what happens when you elevate. The noise can't survive where God is taking you. Every time you rise, drama suffocates. Every time you grow, gossip loses power. Every time you focus, the enemy gets nervous. You've got to make up your mind. I will not let what's around me distract me from what's ahead of me. You're not here to impress, you're here to impact. You're not here to argue, you're here to advance. You're not here to fit in, you're here to fulfill purpose. Stay focused, protect your peace, keep your eyes on what God showed you, because when you start walking in purpose, people will talk. But that's just proof that you're moving. Don't clap back, climb higher, don't respond, rise above. Let your results make the noise. Your assignment is too sacred to be interrupted by nonsense. You've got dreams to build, faith to walk out, people to inspire, and a destiny to fulfill. Don't let drama for your direction. Don't let negativity derail your momentum. Stay focused. Stay faithful. Stay forward. Because the higher you rise, the quieter it gets, not because you've lost people, but because you've found purpose. And when you find purpose, you don't chase peace, peace starts chasing you. So lift your head, silence the noise, and lock your eyes on your destiny. You were not built to live in drama. You were built to walk in purpose. Rise above it and keep moving forward. Your destiny is too important to be delayed by distractions. Fire elevation requires separation. When God begins to lift you, not everyone and not everything can go with you. The higher you rise, the thinner the air becomes. Some relationships can't breathe at your next level. Some environments can't handle your growth. And the mistake too many people make is trying to take everybody along when the call of God was never meant for everybody to understand. You cannot soar like an eagle while you're still trying to fit in with pigeons. You cannot step into destiny while clinging to distractions. There are seasons where God separates you not because people are evil, but because his plan for you is exceptional. When elevation begins, separation feels like loss. It feels lonely. You wonder why certain people changed, why doors closed, why your circle grew smaller. But what if that wasn't rejection at all? What if that was protection? What if the people who walked away were never meant to witness the next chapter of your story? You've been praying for God to take you higher, but you didn't realize that rising means releasing. It's not punishment, it's preparation. God is trimming the excess weight so you can fly without falling. Think about an airplane. Before takeoff, the pilot checks the load because too much weight will stop it from leaving the ground. The same principle applies to your life. There are people, habits, and attitudes that keep you grounded. The gossip you entertain, the bitterness you hold, the distractions you feed, they're too heavy for where you're going. You can't carry resentment into revelation. You can't carry offense into opportunity. You can't walk into a new season dragging the baggage of an old one. If you want to elevate, you have to release what weighs you down. There will come a time when you feel misunderstood because you no longer respond the same way. You stop calling back. You stop explaining. You stop defending yourself. And some people will say, "You've changed." And they'll be right, you have. Growth always looks like distance to those who are standing still. But don't apologize for outgrowing environments that no longer feed your faith. You're not arrogant. You're focused. You're not selfish. You're intentional. You've simply realized that peace is too valuable to be traded for popularity. When God sets you apart, he's not isolating you to hurt you. He's insulating you to help you. Sometimes separation is the silent classroom where God teaches you who you are without the opinions of others. It's in that quiet space that he reveals your real identity, your purpose, your power. You begin to see that elevation doesn't start when the world notices you. It starts when you stop needing their approval. So stop fighting the separation. Let who needs to leave, leave. Let what needs to end, end. Don't chase what God has dismissed. Don't cry over doors he closed, because the same hand that shut them will open something greater ahead. Every separation has strategy in it. Every departure makes room for divine arrival. You may feel like you're losing right now, but heaven is rearranging your atmosphere for increase. When you finally rise, you'll understand why certain people couldn't come. It wasn't because they were bad. It's because they couldn't breathe at your altitude. The view from the top demands a different version of you, lighter, wiser, freer, so embrace the process. You're not being punished. You're being positioned. The space between where you were and where you're going is sacred ground. Don't fill it with noise. Don't reach back for what's comfortable. Keep your eyes on the horizon and your heart on God's promise. Elevation requires separation, and separation is never easy. But when you finally reach the height he's taking you to, you'll look back and realize that everything and everyone that fell away was simply proof that you were rising. Don't trade your destiny for distraction. Every day you wake up, there is a battle for your focus. Your destiny is pulling you one way while distraction is tugging you the other. Distraction doesn't always show up looking evil or obvious. Sometimes it comes dressed as entertainment, gossip, comparison, or meaningless arguments. It shows up in the form of opportunities that look good but aren't asterisk God asterisk. The enemy knows he can't destroy your destiny, so he tries to divert it. He doesn't have to take your anointing, he just has to get you to waste it. Every moment you give to drama, you steal from your destiny. Every argument you entertain, you delay your advancement. Destiny demands discipline. You cannot build something eternal while chasing things that are temporary. Some people spend their whole life fighting distractions that don't even deserve acknowledgement. They react to every rumor, every comment, every whisper, and in doing so, they hand their peace to people who never earned it. You can't fulfill purpose while being emotionally rented out to nonsense. Some things don't need your reaction, they need your restraint. Because when you respond to drama, you validate it. When you ignore it, you rise above it. You can't do both. You've got to decide which one matters more, their opinion or your purpose. Distractions don't always come from enemies. Sometimes they come from comfort. The comfort of familiarity, the comfort of staying the same, the comfort of not stretching your faith. You know you're distracted when you're busy but not productive, when you're active but not advancing. You're moving but you're not progressing. You're working but not winning. That's what distraction does. It keeps you spinning your wheels, exhausting your energy, but never arriving at destiny. You have to learn how to discern what deserves your time and what deserves your silence. There will always be voices calling for your attention, but not every voice deserves your answer. You can't feed your purpose and your pride at the same time. Some of you are losing focus because you're trying to prove yourself to people who will never celebrate you. Stop explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. Stop chasing validation from those who were never meant to confirm you. When God approves you, no human applause can add to it, and no human opinion can take from it. You've got to learn to protect your focus like it's your treasure, because it is. What you focus on expands, and if you keep focusing on drama, it will multiply. But if you focus on destiny, it will manifest. Every time you choose to stay silent instead of arguing, you're investing in your future. Every time you walk away from nonsense instead of feeding it, you're strengthening your purpose. Every time you say, "I'm not giving this my energy," heaven takes notice because God blesses focus. Don't let the enemy trick you into trading your crown for chaos. You've come too far, cried too much, prayed too hard to lose sight of where you're going now. Keep your eyes on your purpose, even when distractions scream for your attention. Let people talk, let them assume, let them spin their stories. You don't need to set the record straight. Your results will do that for you. Your success will silence the lies. You are not here to win arguments. You are here to win souls, to win peace, to win purpose. Don't trade your destiny for distraction. Don't sell your focus for attention. You don't have time to be everywhere, saying everything, proving nothing. Destiny requires silence. It requires self-control. It requires you to walk away when everything in you wants to fight back. Because when you can master your focus, you can master your future. So stay still when chaos calls your name. Keep building when people try to bait you. Keep praying when others keep posting. Keep rising when they keep talking. Because one day, when you step fully into the promise, You'll look back and realize that every distraction you ignored was proof that your destiny was worth protecting. Purpose is louder than opinions. You can spend your whole life trying to please people who will never understand your calling, or you can decide to please the one who called you. People will always have something to say. They'll criticize what they can't comprehend, question what they didn't hear God say, and judge a process they were never part of. But you cannot allow the noise of their opinions to drown out the voice of your purpose. The moment you start chasing approval, you start losing direction. Because when you live for applause, you die when it's silent. Purpose doesn't need validation. It needs obedience. You don't have to convince anyone that you're called. You just have to walk like it . The evidence of your purpose isn't in your words, it's in your fruit. Keep producing, keep building, keep growing. Let your results speak for you. Let your progress silence your critics. Purpose will always outlast gossip because opinions fade, but destiny endures. The same people who doubt you now will one day have to watch what God does through you, and by then you won't even have time to prove them wrong. You'll be too busy fulfilling what they said you couldn't do. It's easy to get distracted trying to manage how people see you, but purpose isn't about being seen, it's about being sent. You weren't created to fit into their expectations. You were designed to fulfill God's plan. Stop letting people who haven't paid the price to be you give you discounts on your worth. They didn't cry your tears, they didn't fight your battles, they didn't carry your cross. So why are you letting their opinions weigh more than your calling? When you start walking in purpose, you have to accept that misunderstanding comes with the territory. You will be talked about, you will be lied on, you will be left out, but that's all right, it's all part of the process. Greatness is never born in the comfort of acceptance. It grows in the soil of rejection. If they could understand everything God is doing in your life, they'd have to be God. So don't be surprised when they can't comprehend your moves. You're not moving for them. You're moving for destiny. Every time you give energy to what people think, you delay what God promised. You don't need their permission to keep going. You don't need their approval to be anointed. You don't need their support to be successful. If God called you, He'll carry you. If He anointed you, He'll appoint you. Let them talk. Words don't stop purpose. Noise doesn't kill destiny. The louder the opinions get, the stronger your focus must become. There's something powerful about quiet confidence, that unshakable peace that says, you don't have to see it, I still know it. That's what walking in purpose looks like. You stop arguing, you stop explaining, and you just start becoming . You let your consistency do the talking, you let your faithfulness tell the story, you let time reveal what words never could, because eventually purpose always proves itself. So don't get caught up in the opinions of people who haven't even discovered their own. Don't let criticism become a cage. People will always have something to say, but remember they talked about Jesus too, and He still finished His purpose. Your assignment is not to clap back. Your assignment is to keep climbing. You can't fulfill your destiny if you're stuck defending it. Purpose doesn't need an audience. It just needs your agreement. The moment you stop explaining yourself and start executing your calling, everything shifts. The same mouths that criticized you will one day have to testify that God was with you. You don't have to announce every step, just keep walking. Keep building, keep believing, because when purpose speaks, opinions go silent. Purpose doesn't argue, it accomplishes . And when you stand in what God called you to do, your life becomes the loudest sermon you'll ever preach. Focus is the currency of destiny. What you focus on will either feed your future or fuel your frustration. You can't walk into the fullness of your calling if you're constantly distracted by what doesn't matter. The enemy doesn't have to destroy your dream. All he has to do is divide your attention, because a divided mind can't walk in divine purpose. Every great breakthrough, every significant move of God in a person's life came through focus, through the ability to lock in on what matters and block out what doesn't. Focus is not just a mindset, it's a discipline. It's the ability to say no to what looks good so you can say yes to what's God. It's the wisdom to recognize that not everything that demands your attention deserves it. You have to learn to protect your focus like it's your most valuable possession, because it is. The moment you lose focus, you lose direction. The moment you lose direction, you lose momentum, and when momentum dies, so does motivation. That's why the enemy keeps throwing noise your way. He knows if he can't stop your faith, he'll try to scatter your focus. You've got to learn how to keep your eyes on your purpose, even when everything around you is competing for your energy. There will always be distractions, social media, gossip, jealousy, comparison, criticism. But the question is, what are you feeding? Because whatever you feed grows, and whatever you starve dies. If you keep feeding distractions, they will multiply. But if you feed your faith, if you invest your time in purpose, discipline, and growth, then those distractions will starve to death. Focus means deciding that some conversations are too cheap for your calling. Some people are too negative for your peace. Some situations are too small for your future. You can't afford to give your time to everything that moves. Every minute you waste entertaining nonsense is a minute you lose from destiny. You can't fulfill a high calling while living with a low level of focus. The truth is, your purpose doesn't just require talent, it requires attention. Talent may get you noticed, but focus keeps you effective. You've got to train your mind to stay fixed on what God showed you, even when you can't see it yet. There are moments when focus will feel like isolation, because not everyone understands your drive. People will call you distant, they'll say you've changed, they'll call you proud, but what they don't see is that you're protecting your destiny. You can't explain vision to people who only see in the natural. When God gives you something divine, you have to handle it with sacred focus. Because if the enemy can distract you long enough, he can delay you. The reason so many people never see their purpose fulfilled isn't because they weren't called. It's because they lost focus. They got caught up in the noise, the drama, the bitterness, the distractions. They spent so much time reacting to what didn't matter that they forgot what did. Don't let that be you. Don't let pettiness steal what prayer built. Don't let confusion consume what clarity birthed. Keep your eyes locked on your mission and your heart anchored in your faith. Every successful person, every spiritual warrior, every visionary knows that focus is sacred. It's not just what you look at, it's what you refuse to look away from. When you focus on purpose, storms may come, distractions may rise, voices may shout, but none of it will move you because your eyes are fixed. Like a runner in a race, you've got to keep your eyes on the finish line, not on the crowd. The cheers and the criticism both fade when you're fixed on the goal. So guard your focus like your life depends on it, because your destiny does. Don't waste energy fighting battles that don't move you forward. Don't lose sight of the mission trying to manage the noise. Focus is the currency of destiny, and if you spend it wisely, your future will yield a return far greater than anything you left behind. Keep your eyes forward, your mind clear, and your spirit steady, because when you stay focused on purpose, no distraction, no delay, and no drama can stop what God has destined for your life. Peace is a power move. In a world that thrives on noise, chaos, and confrontation, staying calm is not weakness, it's wisdom. Anybody can react, but it takes strength to remain steady. It takes spiritual maturity to choose stillness when everything around you is screaming for attention. There's a deep, unshakable strength in peace that most people don't understand. When you refuse to be moved by chaos, you're showing that you're rooted in something greater than what's happening around you. Peace is not passive, it's power under control. It's knowing that you could respond, you could fight back, you could clap back, but you choose not to because your purpose is too important to risk for temporary emotion. The enemy's favorite weapon isn't always temptation, it's agitation. If he can't pull you into sin, he'll try to pull you into strife. He'll send people, words, and situations designed to provoke you, distract you, and drain you. He knows that if he can disrupt your peace, he can delay your progress. That's why peace is your greatest defense. It protects your focus, your clarity, and your faith. When you lose peace, you lose perspective. But when you protect peace, you protect power. Some of the strongest moments in your life will not be when you shout or fight, but when you choose silence and serenity. It takes divine strength to look at a storm and still say, "I'm not moved." It takes faith to look at betrayal and still keep your composure. It takes discipline to watch people misunderstand you, attack you, even lie about you, and still respond with grace. That's not weakness. That's warfare. You're fighting back, not with words, but with wisdom. You're winning not by striking back, but by standing firm. Peace is what keeps you level when life tries to shake you. It's what allows you to hear God's voice when everything else is screaming for your attention. The Bible says to be still and know that He is God, not be busy, not be loud, not be right, but be still. Because stillness is where strength is found. Sometimes the best response is none at all. Sometimes the most powerful statement is silence. Not because you're afraid to speak, but because you're confident enough not to. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. You don't have to prove your peace to people who profit from your pain. The more you mature, the more selective you become with your energy. You start realizing that peace is expensive, and not everyone can afford your presence. You start valuing peace over popularity, clarity over chaos, purpose over pettiness. You begin to understand that peace is not just a feeling, it's a position. It's standing in alignment with God's will, trusting that no matter what's going on around you, He's in control. There will be moments when walking in peace feels lonely, because drama always gathers a crowd. But don't mistake quiet for empty. Peaceful seasons are powerful seasons. That's where growth happens. That's where vision becomes clear. That's where God refines you, restores you, and prepares you for what's next. Every time you choose peace over panic, heaven takes notice. Every time you hold your tongue when you could retaliate, heaven rewards restraint. Every time you protect your calm instead of feeding chaos, heaven releases clarity. Peace doesn't mean the absence of problems. It means the presence of perspective. It's the realization that the storm might be raging around you, but it doesn't have to rage within you. You can walk through fire and not be burned when your peace comes from God. You can sit in chaos and still have calm when your confidence comes from purpose. So don't let anyone steal your peace. It's your greatest weapon. Don't let petty people pull you out of position. Don't let temporary emotions make permanent decisions. Keep your peace and keep your power, because the moment you lose your peace, you lose control of your story. And when you hold your peace, you hand the battle to God. That's not weakness, that's strategy. That's not silence, that's strength. Peace isn't retreating, it's reigning. It's saying, I know who I am, I know what I'm called to do, and I refuse to let chaos dictate my destiny. Peace is a power move, and when you master it, you move from reacting to ruling. Your response determines your rise. Life will always bring challenges, betrayal, disappointment, misunderstanding, and pain. But how you respond to them decides how high you go. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control what happens in you. You can't stop people from lying about you, but you can choose not to let their lies live inside you. You can't stop storms from coming, but you can decide whether you'll panic or pray. Every moment you face is an invitation to either rise or react. And the truth is, destiny is only revealed to those who refuse to be defined by drama. How you respond in hard seasons shows heaven what you're ready for. If you can stay calm under pressure, if you can stay focused while being falsely accused, if you can stay faithful when everything seems to be falling apart, you're proving that you're ready for elevation, because God doesn't promote based on talent. He promotes based on temperament. He's not just looking for gifted people. He's looking for grounded ones. People who can walk through the fire and still speak with faith. People who can face rejection and still keep their spirit right. People who can be wronged and still refuse to retaliate. When life throws you into the fire, it's not there to destroy you. It's there to reveal you. Fire exposes what's real and burns away what's fake. Your reaction in the fire shows your readiness for the future. If you let bitterness take root, it will block your blessing. But if you respond with grace, it will release glory. Because every time you choose peace instead of pettiness, every time you choose discipline instead of drama, you are declaring to the enemy, you can't control me anymore. The devil doesn't fear your shout, he fears your self-control. He fears the moment you stop reacting emotionally and start responding spiritually. You've got to understand that response is more powerful than reaction. Reaction is emotional. It comes from pain, pride, or pressure. But response is intentional. It comes from wisdom, maturity, and faith. The difference between reaction and response determines whether you repeat the cycle or rise from it. When you react, you give the situation power. When you respond with purpose, you take that power back. Some of you have been losing peace, not because of what's happening, but because of how you've been handling it. You've been letting temporary people dictate your eternal perspective. But it's time to shift. It's time to decide that your response will reflect your purpose, not your pain. The truth is, elevation demands emotional control. You can't rise if you're ruled by reaction. Every time you let offense lead you, you lose altitude. Every time you let anger speak for you, you lose influence. But when you can stand in the middle of chaos and still walk in calm, when you can be hurt but still stay humble, when you can be betrayed but still stay balanced, God says, now I can trust you with more, because if you can stay steady when the wind blows, you're ready for the weight of the blessing that's coming. Your response determines your rise. That's why you can't respond to everything that calls your name. Some things are bait, meant to keep you stuck on the same level. Some conflicts exist to block your climb. Don't waste time explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. Don't waste tears trying to change minds that were never meant to agree with you. Keep your focus, keep your posture, keep your peace. Let your consistency be your clapback. Let your growth be your response. When you rise above reaction, you move into revelation. You begin to see that everything sent to break you was actually sent to build you. Every betrayal became a lesson. Every disappointment became direction. Every storm became strength. The situation didn't change, but you did. And that's why you'll rise. So the next time life tests you, remember this. Your reaction can ruin you, but your response can raise you. Don't let anger write your story. Don't let offense define your name. Stand firm, stay calm, and rise higher. Because the way you handle your current situation determines whether God can trust you with the next one. Your response determines your rise, and when you learn to master your reactions, nothing, no person, no problem, no pain can keep you from the heights God has prepared for you.